In our video number 18, we will discuss agricultural diversification under rural development. What is agricultural diversification? Diversification means adding more avenues to agriculture, like dairying, poultry, fisheries, vegetables and fruits, and other activities. Why is this necessary? This is necessary to make rural areas more vibrant, to link rural production centers with urban markets and foreign markets, that is, exports, and to realize higher returns on investments for the products. There are two important aspects with respect to agricultural diversification. The first is to bring about a change in the cropping pattern, and another one is shift in the workforce from agriculture to other allied activities and non-agricultural sector. This diversification arises from the fact that there is greater risk in depending exclusively on farming for livelihood. Hence, the necessity for diversification. This allied activities would mean activities like jaggery making, pickling, making jams and squashes. So, other activities that are related to agriculture that would provide them with alternatives of livelihood and employment. Non-agricultural employment or non-farming employment would mean alternate employment opportunities. Now let's look at the agricultural diversification. The first of which is animal husbandry. What is animal husbandry? It is the branch of agriculture that is concerned with animals that are raised for meat, fiber, milk, eggs or other products. Fiber here would mean wool. It includes day-to-day care, selective breeding and the raising of livestock. So that is what is animal husbandry. Now this animal husbandry increases the stability of income, food security, transport, fuel and nutrition for the family. Apart from the agricultural products, if farmers are involved in another activity called animal husbandry, which is a diversification in agriculture, it would mean income, food security, nutrition to the family. It is an alternative livelihood option for over 70 million small and marginal farmers and landless laborers in India. Now, if you look at the statistics, poultry contributes to 58%, cattle 24%, cattle that includes cows and buffaloes, goats 16%, pigs 1% and others 1%. Apart from this, there are many other activities like apiaries, that is beekeeping, sheep rearing, etc. After animal husbandry, the most important one is fisheries. Fisheries meaning rearing of fishes for meat and a very popular occupation in fresh as well as marine waters. That is sea, oceans, rivers, lakes, ponds and streams. This fisheries has been given importance because of the budgetary allocation and the new technology that is adopted. 64% of the income is from the inland sources, whereas 36% comes from the marine sector. 60% of the workforce is women who are involved in export marketing and 40% of the women in the internal marketing. Total fish production accounts for 0.8% of the total GDP. And in India, the coastal regions like West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Gujarat, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu are the major fish producing states. Why do these fisheries need promotion? This is because a large share of these people who are involved in fishing are poor and underemployed. underemployed, and hence low per capita income. The high rate of illiteracy among them prevents them from mobility of labor, and they are also indebted. So, what can we do for them? We can increase the credit facilities to the people involved in fishing and also encourage the self help groups, especially for the fisher women. However, we need to take care of overfishing and pollution by regulating and controlling the activities of fishing. The next important activity is horticulture. What is horticulture? It is growing crops like fruits, vegetables, flowers, medicinal and aromatic plants, spices, and plantation crops, other than the usual rice and the other grains. Now, India is blessed for having varied climate and different soil structure and conditions. This enables people in India to grow a variety of crops throughout the country. Now, horticulture contributes about one-third value of the agricultural output and a 6% of GDP. Horticulture addresses employment problem because this is diversification of agriculture. So many people are involved in other activities other than the usual agricultural activities. So it solves the problem of unemployment. And also it provides nutrition and food to the families. India is a world leader in production of mangoes, bananas, coconuts, cashew nuts, spices, and is a second largest producer in fruits and vegetables. Many women are involved in horticulture activities like flower harvesting, nursery maintenance, hybrid seed production, tissue culture, food processing, etc. Apart from the other diversified activities in rural areas, information technology or IT also plays an important role in rural development. What does it do? It predicts the areas of food insecurity, and it prevents or reduces the likelihood of an emergency. It disseminates information regarding technology, prices, weather, and soil conditions. So, using this, farmers get information as to what type of soil they have, what type of crops they can grow, and how much of the pesticides or fertilizers can be used to get a better investment returns. Then it also provides employment generation in rural areas by introduction of e-sevas and kiosks in the rural areas. And finally, let's discuss organic farming. Organic farming is an eco-friendly technique of growing crops which promotes sustainable development. It restores, maintains, and enhances the ecological balance. What are the benefits of organic farming? It provides sustainable development of agriculture. It also substitutes costlier agricultural inputs and generates returns. It also provides income through exports because of more nutritional value. And today we find that organic food is growing in popularity across the world. Many countries have around 10% of their food system under organic farming. And there are many retail chains and supermarkets that have come up which are accorded with green status to sell organic food. Organic foods command higher price of around 10 to 100% than the conventional ones. Right? On 29th of July 2005, in the Frontline, an article was published, A Green Alternative by Leela Bhawadan, which said that talked about the organically produced cotton in Maharashtra. In 1995, when Kisan Mehta of Prakriti, it's an NGO, which first suggested that cotton, which is the biggest use of chemical pesticides, could be grown organically. So, as many as 130 farmers committed and 1,200 hectares of land was used to grow cotton organically on the International Federation of Organic Agricultural Movement standards. And this produce was later tested by the German accredited agency Agrico and found to be of high quality. Kisan Mehta feels that about 78% of Indian farmers are marginal farmers, owing about less than 0.8 hectares, but accounting for 20% of India's cultivable land. For such farmers, organic agriculture is more profitable in terms of money and soil conservation in the long run. However, there are certain limitations to organic farming. It is very difficult for small and marginal farmers in the initial years, because modern agricultural farming leads to, difficult to adapt to large scale production. Also, organic produce has a shorter shelf life or shorter lifespan than the sprayed produce, or you can say those which have been on which we have used pesticides and other chemicals. Then there is also this marketing problem of the organically produced goods. So what can be done? To bring about or create an awareness and willingness to adapt to new technologies, to provide them with enough infrastructure, and to address the problem of markets, and then bring out appropriate agricultural policies. Now, there is one more program of adoption of village by parliamentarians. It's a wonderful one. In October 2014, the Government of India introduced a new scheme called Sansad Adarsh Gram Yojana. Under this scheme, members of India's parliament need to identify, develop one village from their constituency. To begin with, the MPs can develop one village as a model village by 2016 and two more by 2019, covering over 2,500 villages in India. According to the scheme, the village can have a population of 3,000 to 5,000 in the plains and 1,000 to 3,000 in the hills. But the problem is that it should not be the MP's own or their spouse's village. And MPs are expected to facilitate a village development plan, motivate the villagers to take up activities, and build infrastructure in the areas of health, nutrition, and education. Now, finally, the CBSE has also brought out a program of introduction of agriculture in schools as part of the new education policy and also as part of art integration in schools.